If you do not know Alexei Navalny, then you are not really as current as you should be. Over the last 12 months, his name has dominated the key political talking points, not only in Russia, but the whole of the West.
У нас есть всего 3 официальных комментария относительно нашего расследования.
For the first time in a decade, Russian President Vladimir Putin is facing a challenge to his supreme power over Russia, and one man is responsible for it: YouTube sensation Alexei Navalny. Welcome to yet another video on our channel. In this episode, we will bring to light all there is to know about Alexei Navalny and how he is making big moves to topple Vladimir Putin, even though he is under house arrest as we speak. Now let's dive right in. 2 days after the head of Russia's anti-corruption foundation, Alexei Navalny, returned to Moscow from Germany, he released a video that has shocked the very foundation on which Russia's political power structure is built. Navalny was arrested as soon as he landed in Moscow, and many thought that this will be the end of him after ignoring warnings not to go back home.
Когда все это вскрылось, местные газеты несколько недель писали только об этом.
Little did his media advisors know that the civil rights activist had other plans. Since 2011, Alexei Navalny has been trying to topple Putin, and he has never been as close to achieving his aims like he is today. Let us show you key ways the Russian upstart is trying to topple the most powerful man in Russia since Joseph Stalin. The Krasnodar Palace expose. Although this was not the first move Alexei has made to topple Putin, it appears to be the one that has had the greatest impact. Exactly 48 hours after his arrest, his minders released a video on YouTube that shocked Russians and the rest of the world. The opulent palace, situated near Gelendzhik, a town in the Krasnodar region, is a heaven on earth. Valued at $1.35 billion, critics claim that the funds to construct the palace was provided by members of Putin's corrupt inner circle. This palatial estate is no ordinary real estate. It has a casino, a church, an underground hockey ring, and a vineyard, to mention just a few features. The value of items in the palace is so expensive, even the toilet brushes cost $850 per unit. You can imagine. Since Navalny appears in the video, he most probably had shot it before his eventual incarceration. Navalny claims that Putin owns the property and that the money used to construct it are proceeds from crime. Putin has denied the allegation, but it has done very little to stop the public outrage. Within 24 hours after the video was released, it garnered more than 20 million views, and within a week, the views crossed 93 million. This move alone has further exposed Putin and his cronies to further ridicule and scrutiny, particularly among the Russian public. The protest that followed Navalny's arrest shows that the activists actually achieved their mission. Who is Alexei Navalny? But hold it for a second, guys. Before we continue on his tactics, it is imperative that we reveal more about Navalny so you can better understand where he is coming from and why he is such a powerful man in Russia right now. Alexei Navalny grew up in southwest Moscow, and he remained relatively unknown until he became famous in 2008 as a blogger. He first started making videos exposing the corruption of state-owned companies.
That is much more important for us.
To gain entry into some of these companies, he developed a strategy of buying minority shares in the companies. Being a shareholder, he was able to ask probing questions at shareholder meetings, which he recorded and published on YouTube, and wrote articles about them on his blog. In no time, he accumulated a readership base of more than 50,000 in Moscow alone. In light of his newfound fame, he decided to contest for the office of the mayor of Moscow in 2013. This move was decisive because the office of Moscow's mayor has a lot of prestige and influence. He eventually lost the election, but his campaign tactics made him even more popular than ever before. With that out of the way, let us reveal more underhanded tactics deployed by Alexei Navalny and members of his anti-corruption foundation. Slick videos and public demonstrations. One tactic that has endeared him to many in Russia was his rallies. Before his incarceration, he was a regular face at public demonstrations against the Russian state. He led protests across many regions in the country with a simple message: the corruption of the Russian oligarchy with Putin as the head. Before his anti-corruption stance, he was a hardline nationalist who preached Russian nationalism with a tinge of Islamophobia. He has always held on to the notion that minority ethnic groups should be incorporated into the Russian nation-state. Although he still holds on to such views, he quickly realized that this stance was not going to sway a large section of the public. Only one message would: An anti-corruption message. Russians know that their country is one of the most corrupt in the world, but to have someone tell it to them in words and through videos was enraging for even the most apolitical Russian citizen. Even though he is now incarcerated, he has trained and inspired many civil rights groups and activists who have continued this fight in his absence. It appears that the seed of a revolution has been planted in Russia, and Putin must be very worried. The use of an alternative media. Another tactic he has used successfully is the alternate media. To better understand why he had to go this route, you don't have to look very far. Under Putin, and like previous leaders before him, the Kremlin has maintained a stranglehold on the media. The party in power dictates what the citizens get to hear and when they hear it, if at all. Under such a dark shadow, the voices of dissidents are drowned out. Navalny realized quite early that he needed to utilize another platform to spread his message. What did he do? Well, he took the route that many 21st century human rights activists have taken before him. He used social media platforms. He dedicated time and resources to build a very large presence on social media, particularly YouTube.
Так делают США, Канада, Англия, и мы тоже так должны.
On his channel, he regularly posted embarrassing videos of political elites. As at the time of producing this video, his YouTube channel has more than 6.25 million subscribers. In one of his most famous videos, he exposed former President and Putin ally Dmitry Medvedev as having taken a bribe from corrupt Russian oligarchs. The cash was disguised as charity donations in exchange for political favor. Then President Medvedev denied the allegation, but many in Russia believed it to be true. As his videos became more injurious to the Russian government, they tried to block the videos on YouTube so Russians cannot access it. But not to be undone, Navalny and his team started posting the videos on pornographic websites and other general sites too many for the government agents to keep track of. His use of alternative media ensured that many of his followers and the wider public could see his videos. National Political Alliance. Another move made by the civil rights activists to overthrow Vladimir Putin is the formation of a large political network comprising opposition politicians. This plan led him to take his campaign outside Moscow and into other major and minor cities, including isolated regions in the Russian Federation. The sole aim of this move was to support opposition candidates in their bid to defeat members of Putin's party.
100 тысяч авторизованных подписей в интернете будет обязательно.
The United Russia Party during regional elections. By providing them with financial and technical resources, some of them had been able to win regional elections against Putin's party. He knows that he cannot challenge Putin headlong in a power tussle, so what he has done is to support fringe opponents in the regions. By his estimate, the more regional seats the United Russia Party loses, the weaker President Putin will become. He exposed the origin of his poisoning. To gain sympathy from Russians and a global audience, he exposed the origin of his poisoning and exposed the culpability of the Kremlin. After the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons revealed that he was a victim of the lethal nerve agent Novichok, many began to wonder if the Russian government was directly or indirectly involved. Many believed at the time that government agents were involved, but there was no proof to back this claim. While working in conjunction with CNN last year, Navalny tricked a Russian agent to divulge sensitive information related to his poisoning. In a recorded phone call, the unsuspecting agent claimed that he was part of an FSB toxin group that had been training him for 3 years. The agent, by the name of Konstantin Kudryavtsev, went further to say that Novichok, the Soviet-era nerve poison, was inserted inside his underpants in the crotch area. This allegation was referred to President Putin, and he was asked for his involvement. Putin denied it, saying that Alexei Navalny was getting big help from US secret agents and that he was making a big fuss out of nothing. The Russian president went on to say that if FSB agents really wanted Navalny dead, they would have finished the job. Will he succeed? This may be Putin's toughest challenge since the 2011 riots, but make no mistake, Putin has ruled Russia for a decade and there is a reason for this. The former KGB officer is a shrewd pragmatist who has weathered many storms before now. Many people argue that Putin has faced many storms before now and will see this one through. Others believe that the seed of dissidence has already been sown and that Putin is only prolonging his doomsday. With Navalny in jail and further protests planned for the future, we can't really tell if the activist from southwest Moscow will succeed. But what we can say is that Putin's greatest threat is not Navalny per se, but the tanking Russian economy. If things do not improve economically for Russians in the next few years, the Russian president will have more than Alexei Navalny to contend with. Do you think Navalny will succeed, or will this be the mortal blow that Vladimir Putin did not see coming? Let us know what you think by leaving a comment. To enjoy more videos like this, don't fail to click the red button at the bottom right corner to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.